Yung topic po natin ngayon will be the conditionally duty and tax-free importations under Section 800. So kung naaalala si Section 104, except as otherwise provided for in this Act, all goods when imported into the Philippines shall be subject to duty, including goods previously exported from the Philippines. Lahat ng goods na pumapasok sa Pilipinas ay subject to duty except as otherwise provided for in this Act. And yung sinasabi doon na except as otherwise ay kasama po si Section 800. General concept. Section 800 of the CMTA provides for the list of goods subject for conditional tax and or duty exemption upon importation subject to compliance with the rules and regulations to set forth by the Commissioner of Customs approved by the Secretary of Finance. So yung rules and regulations na sinusunod natin dito sa Section 800 ay sinet ni Commissioner of Customs and approved by the Secretary of Finance. Nature of tax exemption is strictly construed against the person availing it and liberally against the state. As a rule, no exemption from duties and taxes except from the following. Of course, those provided under Section 800 of the CMTA, those granted to GOC's existing contracts, commitments, agreements, or obligation with foreign countries requiring such exemption, those granted to international institutions, associations, or organizations entitled to exemption pursuant to agreement or special laws, those that may be granted by the President upon prior recommendation of the National Economic Development Authority in the interest of national economic development. As a general rule, tatandaan natin, ang sabi sa Section 104, lahat ng goods na pumapasok sa Pilipinas ay subject of duty. Pero nakalagay din doon, except as otherwise provided for in this Act. And what are the goods exemption to the rule na dapat lahat ng goods na pumapasok sa Pilipinas ay subject to duty? Ito po yun. Tong apat na yan, those are the goods, those are the contracts in which kailangan i-exempt natin sa payment ng duties and taxes. All applications for the exemption from duties and or taxes shall be filed through the Department of Finance through the Revenue Operations Group or in case of VAT-exempt importation through BIR RDO having jurisdiction over the port and where the goods arrive. So lahat daw po ng duty exemption natin ay pinafile kay Department of Finance through the Revenue Operating Group. And then kapag ka VAT exempt naman is sinasabit natin siya kay Bureau of Internal Revenue, RDO, having the jurisdiction in which the goods arrive. All goods eligible for duty and or tax-free exemption shall be issued a corresponding tax exemption certificate or tax exemption endorsement by the DOFROG or the BIR authority to release imported goods or ATRIG authority to release imported goods or ATRIG for VAT exempt purposes shall be endorsed by the BOC Tax Exempt Division. All TECs or the tax-exempt certificates are required to be attached to the SAD E2M declarations as non-cash payment, except in informal entry where it is still processed manually to reflect the duty and or tax-free importations of the goods. So lahat ng certificates na makukuha natin, in case yung goods ay not subject of duties and taxes, kailangan siyang i-attach doon sa ating E2M Single Administrative Document Declaration. Regulated goods require applicable permits or clearances from respective government agency even through conditionally duty and tax-free importation. So kung yung goods natin na hindi subject ng duty and tax-free ay papasok ng Pilipinas, kung regulated goods siya, still kailangan natin sundin yung rules natin when it comes to regulated goods. And ano ba yung rules natin or yung rule natin when it comes to regulatory or regulated goods? We have to secure permits from the necessary regulatory agency. Then let's go proceed with the goods subject to duty and or tax-free importations. Ano daw ba yung goods na subject to duty and tax-free importations? First, under Section 800 letter A of the CMTA, we have the aquatic products such as fishes, crustaceans, mollusks, marine animals, seaweed, fish oil, raw, caught, or gathered by fishing vessels of Philippine registry. So what are the conditions? First, they are imported by the vessels of Philippine registry. So kailangan ang mag-import po ng goods na yon, kailangan registered po siya within the Philippines. Next is that they are imported in such vessel or crafts attached thereto, that they have not been landed in any foreign country, and if so landed, that they have not been landed solely for transshipment without having been advanced in condition. So yung conditions natin under section 800 letter A, meron tayong tatlo. Una, kailangan registered siya ng registered siya as Philippine vessel. Second, kung hindi man vessel itself, or kung hindi man yung vessel itself yung may dala ng goods, kailangan naka-attach yung may dala ng goods. Halimbawa, bangka lang yung may dala, kasabay niyan dumating yung vessel of Philippine Registry, considered daw po yun as an exemption din. Then, kapag yung vessel, halimbawa, nakakuha siya ng fish, pero pumunta siya ng China bago siya bumalik ng Pilipinas, mako-consider lang daw po yun na conditional duty and tax-free importation kapag yung isda na dinala niya ng China ay yung exact same fish na babalik ng Pilipinas. Dapat hindi magiging in advance form, hindi mababago yung itsura or hindi magagalaw yung itsura nung nahuli nilang isda. What are the documentary requirements for the securance of the TEC or the TEI issuance? Meron tayong dalawa. If gathering the carrying vessel are one and the same, certificate of master of the vessel showing that the aquatic products were caught by his vessel, which is of a Philippine registry, that such aquatic products are imported in such vessel or in craft attached thereto, that such aquatic products have not been landed in any foreign territory, and if so landed, they have not been landed solely for transshipment without having been advanced in condition. Letter B, if the carrying vessel is other than the gathering vessel, or the following shall be presented. Certificate from the master of the gathering vessel showing that such aquatic product were caught or gathered by vessel of Philippine registry. Certificate from master of the carrying vessel that such aquatic products are imported in his vessel, which is the Philippine registry, or in the crafts attached thereto. Evidence satisfactory to the collector that such products have not been landed in any foreign territory, and if so landed, that they have not been landed solely for transshipment without having been advanced in conditions. What are the documentary requirements for customs clearance and procedures? None. Wala naman siyang kailangan na requirements, as these are considered Philippine products, provided it shall be landed only on designated fish landings and fish ports in the Philippines. For Section 800, yung rationale behind that pala is nakalimutan kong banggitin kanina. Lagi nating tatandaan for Section 800, papasok lang siya na duty and tax-free provided na makakasunod tayo doon sa conditions na ibinigay. So kapag hindi natin nasunod yung conditions na ibinigay doon, kasi hindi natin may papasok na duty and tax-free yung goods natin. That is underlying principle of Section 800. Another principle of Section 800, lalo na pagdating natin dun sa mga machineries na i-discuss later on, kailangan hindi tayo mag-earn ng profit or kailangan hindi tayo kita. Bakit hindi po dapat tayo kumita, ma'am? Kasi nga ipinasok siya duty and tax-free, and it will be useless or matatalo naman si government kung ipinasok siyang duty and tax-free pero kikita si importer dito sa Pilipinas. So para hindi ma-defraud or hindi maluga si government, dapat hindi din kikita si importer kasi nga hindi naman kumita si Bureau of Customs sa'yo. Next, we have for number 2 is the equipment for the use of salvage of vessel or aircraft. When we say salvage, it is a service which one person renders to the owner of the ship or goods by his own labor, preserving the goods or ship which the owner or those entrusted with care of them either abandon in distress at sea or are unable to protect and secure. Kapag kasi sinabi nating salvage, hindi siya yung kilala nating word na salvage talaga na pinapatay. But instead, yung salvage dito is yung ililigtas. Kumbaga, ililigtas pa yung vessel or aircraft. And yung mga equipment na gagamitin natin to salvage the vessel and aircraft ay i-import natin. Kailan siya magiging duty and tax free considered? Kapag yung equipment na gagamitin natin is not available locally. Kumbaga, hindi available yung equipment na gagamitin natin dito sa Pilipinas. Second, it must be properly identified. Kailangan natin ng certificate of identification kapag sinabi natin properly identified. There must be a security which is equal to 100% of a certain duties and taxes and other charges thereon. It must be re-exported within 6 months from the date of acceptance of goods declaration, extendable for another 6 months from the expiration of original period, or payment of duties and taxes and other charges. What are the documentary requirements? Documentary requirements para makapag-secure tayo ng TEC or TEI issuance is that kailangan meron tayong letter request addressed to the Department of Finance Secretary. Next is the affidavit of end use or ownership. Letter C, bill of lading or airway bill. D, commercial invoice. E, packing list. F, we have the certificate from the Philippine Coast Guard or the PCG for vessels and Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines or CAAP for aircraft that the said equipment is used in the salvage of vessel or aircraft as the case may be. What are the documentary requirements for customs clearance? First, we have is the printout of the SAD or the single administrative document lodged through the value added service provider or the VASP, value added service provider or the VASP with TAN for conditional importation. Next, we have is the bill of lading or airway bill, C, commercial invoice, D, packing list, E, SDV. SDV means supplemental declaration on valuation. SDV is supplemental declaration on valuation. Next is DPTF. DPTF means document processing time form. Document processing time form. And DOFTEC or TEI certificate and security amounting to 100% of the certain duties and taxes and other charges from DOC registered surety company. And yung procedure natin for that is formal entry process. So, yung mga conditions natin dito must be kapag yung goods ay kapag yung vessel or aircraft ay isa-salvage natin. Halimbawa, may lumubog na vessel dito sa may Palawan. And para masalvage or para mailigtas pa natin kahit papano yung lumubog na vessel, kailangan natin ng mga equipment na pampalutang doon sa vessel. And kadalasan, hindi siya available dito sa Pilipinas. So that is the time na nag-i-import or nagpapapasok tayo ng equipments used for the salvage of vessel and aircraft. Cost of repairs, excluding the value of goods used made in foreign countries upon vessel or aircraft, documented, registered, or licensed in the Philippines. Ano yung tinutukoy dito? Cost of repairs, excluding the value of goods used made in foreign countries upon vessel or aircraft documented, registered, or licensed in the Philippines. Halimbawa, si Philippine Registry Vessel, pumunta siya ng China. Pagdating niya sa China, nakita niya na yung vessel pala ay may sira at hindi na kayang bumalik ng Pilipinas kung hindi gagawin yung sira na yon. So therefore, automatically, para makabalik siya ng Pilipinas, kailangan niyang ipagawa yung vessel niya sa China. So doon sa China, gagawin yung vessel niya kasi nga may sira siya. Pero yung vessel na yun ay Philippine Registry or registered siya dito sa Pilipinas. Pagbalik ni vessel dito sa Pilipinas, subject ba siya ng duty and taxes? Hindi. Subject ng duties and taxes lamang po is yung value of the goods. Kasi sinabi excluding the value of the goods. So therefore, yung labor sa paggawa dun sa nasira sa vessel or aircraft ay exempted from the payment of duties and taxes. Pero hindi kasama dun yung value of the goods. So therefore, taxable pa din or subject to duty yung value of the goods used para magawa yung vessel or aircraft. So, ang exempted lang po dito ay yung cost of repairs or yung labor na tinatawag natin. So, what are the conditions? That the adequate facilities for such repairs are not afforded in the Philippines. That such vessel or aircrafts, while in the regular course for their voyage or flight, were compelled by the stress of weather or other casualty to put into a foreign port to make such repair in order to secure the safety, seaworthiness or airworthiness of vessel or aircrafts to enable them to reach their port of destination. So what are the documentary requirements for customs clearance? First, we have is the certification from the Maritime Industry Authority or yung Marina in case of vessels or CAAP in case of aircrafts that the adequate facilities for such repairs are not available or afforded in the Philippines. Affidavit by the master of the vessel or pilot in command that the aircraft that while on the regular course of their voyage or flight, the same was compelled by the stress of weather or other casualty to put into foreign port to make such repairs in order to secure the safety, seaworthiness, or airworthiness of the vessel or aircraft to enable her to reach her port of destination, and the repairs are incidental and necessary for its use abroad. So, kailangan pong mag-provide ng affidavit ni master, ni vessel, or aircraft na kailangan talagang gawin yung vessel or aircraft niya para maibalik yung pagiging seaworthiness or airworthiness niya. Next, documentary requirements for customs clearance and procedures is none, since it is pertaining to cost of repairs made of vessel or aircraft, not the subject vessel or the aircraft. Number 4, we have is the goods brought into the Philippines for repair, processing, or reconditioning. Dito naman ang tinutukoy is yung mga goods na dinala dito sa Pilipinas for repair, processing, or reconditioning. Kumbaga dito ipapagawa or ipagagawa yung mga sirang goods na ipinasok. So processing, it refers to the progressive action or a series of acts or steps which do not change the nature and identity of the good. What are the conditions? It must be exported upon completion of repair, processing, or reconditioning. So, kailangan pong lumabas din yung goods na ipinasok conditionally duty and tax-free basta matapos na siyang gawin and i-reprocess or i-recondition. Second condition natin is that there must be a security which is equivalent to 100% of the certain duties and taxes and other charges thereon. And it must be re-exported within 6 months from the date of acceptance of goods declaration. So for the documentary requirements for the issuance of TEC or TEI, we have the letter request addressed to DOF Secretary, affidavit of end use or ownership, bill of lading or airway bill, commercial invoice, packing list, contract of agreement for rework or repair or processing or reconditioning, and then export documents such as export bill of lading or airway bill, invoice, packing list, including export declaration. Documentary requirements for customs clearance is that we need to print out the SAD with the TAN for conditional importation, bill of lading or airway bill, commercial invoice, packing list, SDV, DPTF, DOFT, ECTI, and then security equivalent to 100% of the duties and taxes. Next is the procedure. We have the formal entry process. For medals, badges, cups, and other small goods bestowed as trophies or prizes or those received or accepted as honorary distinction, Condition natin dyan is that it should be received or accepted as honorary distinction as a winner in a certain event or an award of recognition for a service rendered or other purposes. Best example natin dito is yung belt na inuuwi ni Manny Pacquiao every time na nananalo siya ng boxing. Yung belt na yon is halimbawa na panalunan niya. Of course, yung mga belt na yon somehow it is made of gold. So therefore, dapat generally taxable or subject to duty. Pero dahil nga napanalunan naman niya yung belt na yon at pinaghirapan niya, of course, in respect to the athlete, hindi na po siya subject ng duties and taxes. Another example is yung medal na inuuwi ng ating mga Olympians. Halimbawa, nanalo sa Olympics, kung kilala si Margie Didal, nanalo siya ng gold nung Olympics. And then yung gold na nauwi niya or inuwi niya dito sa Pilipinas, hindi siya subject ng duties and taxes. Kaparehas din po nung medal na inuwi ni yung weightlifter. Ano bang pangalan? Basta yung weightlifter na nag-uwi ng gold, of course, hindi na siya subject ng duties and taxes. Kumbaga parang pasasalamat na lang din yon sa athlete kasi nanalo sila. Basta ang condition dito is kailangan na receive siya as honorary distinction as winner in a certain event. So what are the documentary requirements for the TCI issuance? If accompanied, halimbawa, pag sinabi natin unaccompanied, na unang dumating yung medal kaysa dun sa tao. So we have letter request addressed to DOF Secretary, affidavit of end-user ownership, bill of lading or airway bill, commercial invoice, and the packing list. For the documentary requirements for customs clearance and procedure, if accompanied, wala naman tayong kailangan as the exemption is inherently applied when the person holding such medal badges trophies arrived at the airport. Then if accompanied naman, kailangan natin imported through postal mail or special procedures on postal mail, notice card sent by PhilPost, DOC, TEC, TEI certificate, and imported through air express operators such as FedEx or DHL, special procedures on express shipment applies. Next item naman natin is yung personal and household effects belonging to a returning resident. So yung mga gamit na dinadala ng ating returning resident. When we say returning resident, it shall refer to the nationals who have stayed in the country for a period of at least 6 months. So, yung mga returning resident daw po natin, halimbawa ako, pumunta ako ng Canada. Nagstay ako doon ng 6 na buwan and after 6 months na pagdesisyonan kong umuwi ng Pilipinas. So, therefore, I am considered as returning resident. So, meron daw pong exemption para sa akin. Personal effects, it refers to the goods of personally not merchandise and includes household effects. Household effects are limited to such as similar to books, libraries, furniture, carpets, paintings, tablewares, and other usual household furnishings, including wearing apparel and personal adornment. Goods included from exemption. Ano-ano daw ba yung kasama sa exemption natin? Of course, we have all wearing apparel, damit, and personal adornment. Toilet goods. Kasama din yung household appliances, jewelry, and other goods of luxury, which was formally declared under oath before the collector of customs when exported from the Philippines upon departure therefrom as evidenced by the certificate of identification. So kapag jewelry yung dala-dala natin, kailangan yung jewelry na dala natin na umalis ng Pilipinas, dapat yun din yung babalik. So magiging kasama lang sa exemption natin si jewelry kapag yung jewelry ay sa atin na even before we go to the different territory. So kaya kailangan natin ng oath before the collector of customs and kailangan din natin ng certificate of identification. What is certificate of identification? It is a proof na kung ano yung nilabas mo ng Pilipinas, yun din yung babalik ng Pilipinas. And it goes the same. Kung ano yung pumasok ng Pilipinas, yun din yung ilalabas mo palabas ng Pilipinas. That is the purpose of certificate of identification. Instrument related to one's profession, halimbawa nga is yung stethoscope for doctors and drawing instruments for architects and engineers. What are the goods excluded from the exemption? Of course, luxury goods not covered by the proper identification before departure and purchase abroad. So, kagaya na sinabi ko kanina, hindi po kasama yung mga luxury items natin, yung mga jewelry natin, kung pinurchase siya abroad. And then, of course, hindi kasama si vehicle, watercraft, aircrafts, and yung ating mga animals. What are the conditions? Condition is that it shall not be in commercial quantity. Pag sinabi natin commercial quantity, dapat for personal use lang siya. Hindi siya pwedeng maramihan. Halimbawa, nag-uwi ng pabango si returning resident. So, dapat acceptable kung 2 pabango lang yung inuwi niya. Pero kung 10 pabango yung inuwi niya, sa paningin ni Bureau of Customs, that is in commercial quantities. And ang purpose na nun is for you to earn revenue through pagbebenta ng pabango. So, dapat yung iuwi natin ay hindi siya in commercial quantity. Second is that it shall not be intended for barter or barter, pag sinabi natin barter, swap, sale, benta, hire, or parenta. So, dapat hindi siya pwedeng ipa-barter, i-sale, or i-hire. It must be accompanied upon return or at least 60 days after the owner's return, which barring unforeseen and fortuitous events. Then letter D, meron tayong 3 availment na pwede. Ano yung availment na pwede natin? It is limited to FCA FOB value of the following. Una, 350K yung exemption natin provided na dapat ay nagstay siya sa foreign country at least 10 years and have not availed this privilege within 10 years prior to returning residents' arrival. So, ang limit natin is 350K, provided na dapat nagstay siya sa foreign territory ng 10 years and hindi niya na-avail yung privilege within the last 10 years. 250K naman kapag nagstay siya doon sa ibang bansa, at least 5 years but not more than 10 years, and have not availed this privilege within 5 years prior to returning residents' arrival. And then 150K naman yung limit natin for those who have stayed in foreign country for less than 5 years and have not availed this privilege within 6 months prior to returning residents' arrival. What are the documentary requirements for TEC-TEI? We have the letter request for duty and tax exemption addressed to DOF Secretary, affidavit of ownership, BLRA bill, invoice, packing list, authorization letter, original passport, proof of residency or employment abroad for Filipino returning residents if applicable, TIN number through the TIN card, oath of allegiance and identification certificate for balikbayan with dual citizenship, copy of birth certificate for balikbayan with dual citizenship. Documentary requirements for customs clearance for unaccompanied personal effects. We have the informal import declaration and entry IDE BC Form 177, permit to deliver imported goods BC Form 194 if by sea. Tapos gate pass BC Form 201 if by air, BL airway bill, invoice, packing list, DOF, TEC-TEI natin. And then procedure for unaccompanied personal effects is informal entry process. Note, if accompanied, subject to special procedures on traveler passenger baggage, goods not included in exemption shall be subject to a 1-year importation under CMO 4 2019 at 2009 and follow the documentary requirements and procedures on formal entry process. Balikbayan boxes sent by the residents of the Philippines, OFWs, or other Filipinos residing abroad upon their return to the Philippines. So, ang pinag-uusapan naman natin dito ay ang balikbayan boxes. Conditions. The balikbayan boxes shall contain only personal and household effects. It shall not be in commercial quantity. It shall not be intended for barter, sale, or hire. The FCA value shall not exceed 150K. Otherwise, in excess thereof will be subjected to applicable duties and taxes. The residents of the Philippines, OFWs, and other Filipinos can avail this privilege up to 3 times in a calendar year. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Dito sa balikbayan boxes, ang pinakamataas na pwede natin i-avail ay 100,000. And yung in excess of that will be dutiable. Halimbawa, umuwi ako, galing ako ng India. Pag uwi ko galing India, may dala-dala akong balikbayan boxes. Yung balikbayan boxes na dala-dala ko ay nagkakahalaga ng 180,000 pesos. Since 150K lang yung limit ko as a balikbayan, yung 150K doon sa 180 ay exempted. Then yung natitirang 30K doon sa 180, that will be subject to duty. Ganun yung application natin. 150 pesos yung ceiling rate natin for the balikbayan boxes. No, for the residents, they'd only avail of this privilege up to 3 times in a calendar year. Ano ibig sabihin nun? 150 times 2 ba? Since 3 times a year, hindi po. So, dapat yung 150K na yon is ceiling mo na siya kada taon. Halimbawa, unang padala ko, nagpadala ako ng balikbayan box, nagkakahalaga ng 60K. Nagpadala ako ng January, unang balikbayan ko, is worth 60K. Nagpadala ako ng June. Pangalawang balikbayan box ko, nagkakahalaga ng another 60K. So, dalawang 60K na 120. December, magpapasko. Nagpadala ulit ako ng balikbayan box dahil gusto kong ipamigay sa mga kamag-anak ko. Ang total na padala ko ay 80,000 pesos. Magkano na yung sumobra doon? 60, 60, 80, 612. That is a total of 200,000 pesos in a year. So therefore, yung exceeding doon sa 150K na limit ko, na 50K na sumobra, I will pay for the duties and taxes of that. Then yung 150K na pasok doon sa limit ko is exempted from the payment of the duties and taxes. So, ganun siya. Pwede natin siyang i-avail hanggang 3 times a year. Pwede po ba ma'am isang bagsakan? Pwede po. Halimbawa, ako nagpadala ako ng balikbayan boxes. Ang declared value ko ay 150K. So, therefore, pasok na ako doon. Up to, hindi naman porket sinabi dito na 3 times in a calendar year, 3 beses ka din magpapadala. Pwedeng isang beses lang, provided na dapat pasok ka sa limit mo na 150K. And then kapag lumagpas ka sa 150K, that is the time na magiging subject na tayo ng duties and taxes. Documentary requirements and procedures on balikbayan boxes. Therefore, existing procedure observed CMO 9, CMO 79-90 po yung sinusunod natin. And then, requirements natin is informal import declaration and entry, BC Form 177, 10 packages, is equivalent to 1 IIDE. Permit to deliver imported goods, BC Form 1944C, 10 packages equals to 1 IPDIG. And then Gate Pass BC Form 2014. Air, we also need the Master Bill of Lading or Master Airway Bill, House Bill of Lading or individual packing list of balikbayan boxes. Note subject to collector's clearance and X-ray inspection prior to release. Next is goods of personality brought by the travelers or tourists. Traveler refers to any person who temporarily enters the territory of a country which he or she does not normally resides, or who leaves the territory, and any person who leaves the territory which he or she normally resides and who returns to the territory. So, traveler, kapag halimbawa nagpunta ako ng Hong Kong, nagstay ako doon ng 2 linggo, pagbalik ko dito, ang tawag sa akin ay traveler. So, what are the goods included from the exemption kapag ako bilang traveler, nag-uwi ako ng mga bagay-bagay? Ano daw ba yung included sa exemption? Of course, we have the wearing apparel, goods of personal adornment, toilet goods, portable tools and instruments, theatrical costumes, and similar effects. What are the conditions? For the conditions, it is necessary and appropriate for the wear and use of persons according to the nature of journey, their comfort and convenience. It should not be for barter, sale, or hire. It is subject of submission of a written commitment or a security equivalent to 100% of the duties and taxes and other charges due to condition for exportation thereof or payment of duties, taxes, and other charges within 3 months from the date of acceptance of the goods declaration, subject to extension for another 3 months from the expiration of the original period. So, yun yung conditions natin. And then, for the documentary requirements, we have letter request addressed to DOF Secretary, affidavit of end use or ownership, BL, airway bill, invoice, packing list, authorization letter, passport, letter of application for visa with the Bureau, or immigration or PESA for PESA registered firm, and yung TIN number natin. Or the documentary requirements for customs clearance and procedures, if accompanied, subject to special procedures and travelers, passenger baggage with written commitment. If not accompanied or if unaccompanied, consumption under informal entry process with written commitment or security or special procedures on express shipment, postal mail with written commitment or security as appropriate. Personal and household effects and vehicles belonging to foreign consultants and experts hired by or rendering services to the government and their staff or personnel and families. Ano pong tinutukoy dito? Yung ating mga foreign consultant. Ano yung foreign consultant? Halimbawa, si Philippines, magko-conduct siya ng annual budgeting niya on the annual plan. Of course, kapag nagko-conduct tayo ng annual plan, we have to make use of the statistical data available. And si Philippines, gusto niya pong mag-hire ng statistician. Gusto niyang mag-hire ng statistician galing ng ibang bansa. And then yung statistician na yun, since magre-render siya ng service dito sa Pilipinas, all the personal and household effects na daladala ni foreign consultant, daladala ni statistician ay magiging subject siya ng libreng duties and taxes. What are the conditions? It is in quantities and kind necessary and suitable to the profession, rank, or position of the person importing such item. It is subject to submission of a written commitment or security equivalent to 100% of duties and taxes, and within 3 months from the date of expiration of the term or contract, subject to extension for another 3 months from the expiration of the original period. Then for the documentary requirements, parehas lang dun sa mga nauna. Ang kaibahan lang is nadagdagan siya ng favorable recommendation or conditionally free from the head of government agency, confirmation, certification from the head of government agency that the consignee is a foreign consultant hired by or rendering services to said government agency, copy of agreement and contract, and of course, ng ating tax identification number. Documentary requirements is if accompanied, subject to special procedures on travelers, passengers, baggage with written commitment. If unaccompanied naman, subject to informal entry with written commitment or security. For vehicles naman na dala-dala ni foreign consultant, pasok siya sa once a year importation as per CMO 44/2009 and file the goods declaration for conditional importation with security to be cleared under formal entry process. Number 10 is the personal and household effects belonging to persons coming to settle to the Philippines or Filipinos or their families and descendants who are now residents or citizens of other countries. Ang sino yung tinutukoy dito sa number 10? Sila po yung mga sila po yung mga Pilipino or yung mga kamag-anak nila na resident na ng ibang bansa pero napagdesisyonan nilang bumalik na dito sa Pilipinas to settle. Ulitin ko, sila po yung mga Pilipinong resident na sa ibang bansa pero bumalik sila ng Pilipinas to settle. Kumbaga, napagdesisyonan nila na sa Pilipinas na nila gustong mag-settle. So, lahat po ng goods na kasama nila is exempted. Pero meron din tayong exemption doon. So, ang mga kasama lang po sa exemption is yung personal and household effects, including wearing apparel, professional instrument and implements, tools of trade, occupation, or employment, and domestic animals. When we say domestic animals, dogs, cat, birds, mga ganun lang. Mga animal na domesticated na or yung mga animal na natural na talagang inaalagaan. So, of course, meron tayong exemption doon. Ano yung exemption natin doon? Vehicles, vessels, aircrafts, machineries, and other similar goods. What are the conditions? It is in quantities and kind of class suitable for their profession, rank, or possession of the person importing the said items. It is for their own use and not intended for barter, sale, or hire. That such persons actually coming to settle in the Philippines must show proof thereof, and such goods were brought from their place of abode. So, documentary requirements, kaparehas lang din nung mga nauna, except that meron tayong copy of original passport or authenticated passport by PRA and favorable recommendation from PRA. For the documentary requirements, if accompanied, personal effects subject to special procedure or traveler or passenger baggage. If unaccompanied, personal effects subject to goods declaration for consumption under the informal entry process or special procedure of postal mail or express shipment. For vehicles and other goods excluded from exemption, file an application for once a year importer under CMO 44-2009 and file goods declaration for consumption under the formal entry process. Next we have is the goods exclusively used for public entertainment and for display in public expositions or for exhibitions or competition for prizes and devices for projecting pictures and parts appurtenances thereof. Ang tinutukoy po dito is yung mga goods na ginagamit natin for public entertainment and expositions. Yan. Ang tinutukoy natin is yung mga goods na dinadala ng Pilipinas for public entertainment. Kasama dito halimbawa yung mga paintings na dinadala from ibang bansa papunta ng Pilipinas na i-display for public expositions. Kasama din dito yung mga goods na sinasali ng competition dito sa Pilipinas and all the devices for projecting pictures and parts thereof. What are the conditions? Subject to security equivalent to 100% of the duties, taxes, and other charges. And within 3 months, it must be re-exported from the date of acceptance of goods declaration, subject to extension for another 3 months from the expiration of the original period. So yun yung kailangan natin ng security and then kailangan natin siyang kailangan natin ng security, kailangan natin siyang i-export or ilabas ng Pilipinas 3 months from the date of acceptance of goods extendable to another 3 months. Now, for the documentary requirements for the TCTI issuance, letter request addressed to the DOF Secretary, affidavit of end use, BLRA bill, commercial invoice, packing list, certification of the organizer or the venue, brochure, authorization letter for the authorized representative. Now, for the documentary requirements for customs clearance, same requirements on Section 800 letter B and letter D. Technical and scientific films imported by technical, cultural, or scientific institutions. A condition, it should not be exhibited for profit, and if so, proceeds subject to confiscation, in addition to the penalties provided for under the CMTA. Ano yung tinutukoy natin dito? These are the goods and scientific films imported by technical, cultural, or scientific institution. So, yung mga ginagamit natin in producing scientific films, technical films imported by the technical, cultural, or scientific institution, kailangan po hindi siya exhibited for profit or hindi siya dapat ibenta. And kung ibebenta man siya or pagkakakitaan man siya, since ipinasok nga siya conditionally duty and tax-free and illegally ibinenta siya, yung proceeds po nun ay mako-confiscate in favor of the Bureau. And of course, together with the confiscation, there will be penalties provided for under the CMTA provisions. What are the documentary requirements? Letter request addressed to DOF Secretary, affidavit of end user ownership, BLRE bill, commercial invoice, packing list, certification of organizer, venue, brochure. For the documentary requirements for customs clearance, we have printout of SAD lodgement, CRUVAS fee with TAN, BLRE bill, commercial invoice, packing list, STV, DPTF, FTC, TECTEI, and MTRCB import clearance, and the procedure to undergo is the formal entry process. Number 13, goods brought by foreign film producers directly and exclusively used for making or recording motion picture films on the location in the Philippines. Ano yung mga goods na tinutukoy dito? Ito po yung mga goods na ginagamit ng foreign film producers kapag magkakaroon sila ng shooting or gagamit sila ng location dito sa Pilipinas. Example nito is yung mga camera and all the machines na gagamitin po for the shoot is subject po siya ng conditionally duty and tax-free importation. Subject to security equivalent to 100% of the certain duties and taxes and must be re-exported 3 months from the date of the acceptance of goods declaration, subject to extension for another 3 months from the expiration of the original period. Now, for the documentary requirements, we have letter request, affidavit of end use, BLRE bill, commercial invoice, and brochure. And for the documentary requirements, it goes the same with the documentary requirements of Section 800 letter B and letter D. Photographic and cinematographic films underdeveloped and exposed outside the Philippines. Ano namang ibig sabihin nito? Kapag po yung Philippine registered naman or yung mga Filipinos naman yung magdadala ng goods papunta sa ibang bansa at ibabalik dito sa Pilipinas for the purposes na mag-shoot sila ng pelikula. So yung kanina, yung mga foreign country yung pumapasok dito naman sa number 14, tayo yung naglalabas and tayo yung nag-uuwi ng same goods. What are the conditions? Importer must be a Filipino or a producing company of Philippine registry. All employees must be Filipinos. And then for the documentary requirements, we have letter request addressed to DOF Secretary, affidavit of end use ownership, BLRE bill, commercial invoice, packing list, brochure, and certificate of identification. Again, certificate of identification to identify or to clearly determine na kung ano yung lumabas ng Pilipinas, yun din yung exact same good na babalik ng Pilipinas. Documentary requirements, same as those in protection of technical scientific films imported by technical scientific institutions not operated for profit. Number 15, importations for the official use of the foreign embassies, legations, and other agencies of foreign government. What are the goods na tinutukoy dito? Yung mga goods na ginagamit officially by the foreign embassies, legations, and other agencies of foreign governments. Halimbawa, yung embahada ng USA dito sa Pilipinas. Si USA ambassador ay medyo maselan, halimbawa, and gusto niya na yung goods na gagamitin niya sa foreign embassy dito sa Pilipinas ay lahat imported galing Amerika. So therefore, may papasok lang natin siya na duty and tax free provided na halimbawa si Philippine Embassy ay magkakaroon din ng exact same privilege. Kumbaga dapat two-way. Kung ano yung privilege na ibibigay natin, dapat ganun din yung privilege na matatanggap ni Philippine Embassy. Dapat two-way. The particular country acquired similar privileges to corresponding agencies of the Philippines. Now, for the documentary requirements for TEC-TEI issuance, we have note verbal from the embassy, favorable recommendation form from the DFA, bill of lading array bill, commercial invoice, and packing list. Now, for the documentary requirements for the customs clearance, we have the following: PDIG, DLRA bill, commercial invoice, packing list, DOF, TEC-TEI, DFA certificate of guarantee, and note verbal from the embassy. For the procedure, we have the informal entry process. Note for motor vehicles IIDT is required to be filled up for recording purposes. Number 16, goods imported for personal or family use of the members and attaches of foreign embassies, legations, consular officers, and other representatives of foreign government. So number 16, ang tinutukoy naman dito is yung mga gamit naman na gagamitin ng family use ng members ng foreign embassy. So kanina ang tinutukoy natin is yung foreign embassy itself or yung foreign embassy or yung tao mismo doon sa embassy ng Philippines. Pero dito sa number 16, ang tinutukoy naman is yung pamilya na kasama nung titira sa foreign embassy. What are the conditions? The privilege shall be accorded under special arrangement between the Philippines and the country which they represent. So, dapat mutual po ulit yung usapan natin. Kung ano yung privilege na i-offer ni Philippines, ganun din yung privilege na dapat makukuha ni Philippines. The privilege may be granted only upon specific instructions of the Secretary of Finance pursuant to the official request DFA in behalf of such member of foreign embassies, legations, consular offices, or other members of other representative of foreign government. So, dapat granted po siya ni DFA. And kailangan yung special instruction niya manggagaling kay Secretary of Finance ng DFA, of course. For the documentary requirements, it goes the same with the documentary requirements na hihingi natin doon sa nauna kanina, yung sa foreign embassy. Parehas lang po sila ng documentary requirements for the issuance of TEC-TEI, and at the same time, parehas lang sila ng customs clearance and procedures. Number 17, we have the imported goods donated to or for the account of the Philippine government or any of the duly registered relief organization for free distribution among the needy. So, ang tinutukoy naman pong goods dito ay yung mga goods na i-donate po dito sa Pilipinas. Yung mga goods na i-donate dito sa Pilipinas. And yun, for duly registered relief organization for free distribution among the needy. What are the conditions? In case the duly registered organization, it must not operate for profit. So, kailangan wala tayong kitain or hindi natin ibibenta yung goods na i-donate. There must be certification from the following government agencies. So, meron tayong tatlong agency concerned. DSWD kapag ka ang i-donate ay damit, DOH kapag pagkain at gamot, DepEd kapag books and other school supplies. And then in case naman na private relief organization, kailangan registered siya with the DSWD. For the documentary requirements, DSWD recommendation for duty exemption of the consignee or applicant, authenticated deed of donation of the donor, notarized deed of acceptance by the donee applicant, BLRA bill, commercial invoice, packing list, DSWD registration certificate, and distribution plan. For the documentary requirements, we have the IIDE, PDIG, array bill, invoice, packing list, DOFT, CPTI, copy of authenticated deed of diminution and deed of acceptance. Now, for the procedure, we have the informal entry process. If imported under the state of calamity, procedures under relief consignment will prevail. Number 18, we have the containers, holders, or similar receptacles of any material. Ano yung included natin dito? Craft paper bags for locally manufactured cement for export. So kapag ka nag-i-import daw tayo ng craft paper bag na locally manufactured for the cement, for the export ng semento, that is exemption from the payment of duties and taxes. Corrugated boxes for bananas, pineapples, and other fresh fruits for export. Goods excluded in the exemption. Containers must be made of paper, paperboard, and textile fabric. So other than that, kapag hindi gawa sa paper, paperboard, and textile fabrics, and that is the time na magiging subject na siya ng payment ng duties and taxes. What are the conditions? The character of the goods as to be readily identifiable and usable for shipment or transportation of goods shall be delivered to importer. It must be properly identified, examined, and appraised, subject to security equivalent to 100% of a certain duties and taxes, and other charges conditioned for export within 6 months from the date of acceptance of the goods declaration. And then for the documentary requirements we have is letter request addressed to DOF Secretary, affidavit of end user ownership, proof that the goods are not made of paper, paperboard, or textile fabrics and is readily identifiable, reusable for shipment or transport of the goods, BL array bill, commercial invoice, and packing list. Now, for documentary requirements for customs clearance and procedures, same as provided under sections B, D, J, and K. Number 19, supplies which are necessary for the reasonable requirements of the vessel or aircraft in its voyage or flight outside of the Philippines. Goods included in the exemption. Goods transferred from bonded warehouse in any collection district to any vessel or aircraft for use or for consumption of the passenger or crew on board at sea or air stores. Goods purchased abroad for sale on board the vessel or aircraft as saloon store or air store supplies. What are the conditions? It must be exclusively used and consumption of the vessel or aircraft. It must be intended for voyage or flight outside of the Philippines. Any surplus or excess of the supplies of the vessel or aircraft arriving from the ports or aircraft shall be dutiable. Documentary requirements. Yun. Letter request, affidavit of end use, BL array bill, commercial invoice, packing list, authorization, letter. Now, for documentary requirements for customs clearance, we have printout of SUD, large true VASP, BL, commercial invoice, packing list, STV, DPTF, DOFTEC, TEI, and the procedure will be the formal entry process. Number 20 is the goods and salvage from the vessels or parts of the foreign vessel or its equipment wrecked or abandoned in Philippines water or elsewhere. So, ang tinutukoy po dito is yung mga goods na na-salvage or nakuha natin from the vessel or aircraft na wrecked or abandoned in the Philippines, Philippine water or elsewhere. So, ang tinutukoy dito is yung mga goods na nakuha natin or makukuha natin doon sa mga bumagsak na aeroplane or lumubog na vessel. Ano condition dito? Goods and salvage from the vessel must be recovered after a period of 2 years from the date of filing of marine protest or the time when the vessel was wrecked or abandoned otherwise, if recovered within 2 years, dutiable. Anong rule dito? Anong condition? Kailangan makukuha natin yung mga goods na yon 2 years after nung wreck or 2 years after lumubog nung vessel or masira nung aircraft. And then, kapag ka na-recover naman siya within the period of 2 years, automatically that is dutiable. So, in order for that, be exempted from the payment of duties, 2 years must have been lapsed or 2 years na po yung nakalipas from the date of filing of marine protest or at the time when the vessel was wrecked or abandoned po. Who is the importer? Kapag ka mga ganitong scenario, automatic yung salvor yung considered natin as importer. Sino si salvor? Salvor will be considered importer or recovered salvage goods. He may file it under consumption or warehousing as he may elect if the Philippines production and consequently conditionally duty and tax-free proof must be adduced thereto. No part of the Philippine vessel or aircraft or its equipment wrecked in either Philippines or foreign waters shall be subject to duties. And then produce of forwarding cargo from remains of a recent wreck is provided for under Section 47 and 418 of the CMTA. Number 21 we have is the coffins or urns containing human remains, bones, or ashes, used personnel, and household of the deceased person. So, eto po ang tinutukoy dito is yung coffins, yung, what do you call this? Coffins, yung kabaong, or yung urns na pinaglalagyan ng human remains. So, therefore, ang tinutukoy po dito is yung mga personal and household effects and yung pagiging duty and tax-free exempted po ng coffins and urns. Coffins and urns imported must contain human remains, bones, or ashes. So, kailangan hindi siya mako-considered na duty and tax free kung hindi naman nakalagay sa coffins or sa kabaong or sa urns, yung urns yung parang vases na pinaglalagyan natin kapag cremate or cremation, yung way natin doon sa namatay. Exempted lang daw po siya sa payment ng duties and taxes. Dapat ay human remains or bones yung laman niya. The said personal and household effects are not merchandise of vehicle. So, dapat hindi siya for merchandise and at the same time, hindi din kasama yung vehicles natin. The FCA value of used personal and household effects does not exceed 150K. So, yung personal and household effects na kasamang darating nung coffins or urns, dapat hindi siya mag-exceed ng 150K dahil 150K lang yung ceiling limit natin. That an affidavit of a person having knowledge of the facts or satisfactory that the used personal and household effects belongs to the deceased. So, kailangan patunayan na yung mga goods na iuuwi together with the coffins and urns ay talagang pagmamay-ari nung namatay. Coffins or urns containing human remains, bones, or ashes shall be subject to immediate release at the airport entry upon filing of goods declaration for consumption to be cleared under informal entry process and under terminal release subject to submission of the affidavit of persons having knowledge over the goods and the death certificate of the deceased. If arriving together with the personal effects, invoice and packing list of such goods must likewise be submitted. Number 22 is we have samples. Ano yung mga samples? Halimbawa, may bagong company na nagpo-produce ng gamot. Located siya sa Hong Kong. And then, of course, para makilala yung goods niya dito sa Pilipinas, kailangan niyang mag-send ng samples. Yun yung mga samples natin, literal na sample. And what are the kinds of samples included in the privilege? We have the samples of a kind in such quantity and such dimension or construction as to render them unsellable or of no commercial value. Next is samples, models not adapted for practical use, medicinal samples, and yun yung klase ng mga samples na pwede nating ipasok conditionally duty and tax free. Condition for sample of no commercial value and models. So, iba-iba po ng condition yung tatlo. For the condition of sample of no commercial value and models, there must be prior authority from the DOF Secretary. For samples of no commercial value, sufficient quantities must be taken into consideration. So, dapat limited lang, konti lang or enough lang yung sample na ipadadala. And then for models naman, they are not adapted for practical use. Now, for medicinal samples naman, they shall be properly marked sample or sale punishable by law, and this word should be clearly and permanently printed, not merely pasted on products label and or box. They are imported for the purpose of introducing new article in the Philippine market. They are imported only once in such quantity sufficient for that purpose. They are imported by a person duly registered and identified to be engaged in trade. They are the importation of medicinal samples were previously authorized by the DOF and DOH secretaries. Such samples are new medicines not available in the Philippines as may be determined by the DOH secretary of his authorized representative. They are not in commercial quantities nor shipped in bulk or dapat hindi sila pangmaramihan. Dapat enough lang talaga siya to be considered as sample and they should have arrived with or after the commercial stock and they should not exceed 20% of the latter. For the documentary requirements, documentary requirements for TEC-TEI Issue 1 is that letter request addressed to DOF Secretary, affidavit of end use, prior authority from DOF, prior authority from DOH yan, bill of lading area bill, commercial invoice, packing list, certification of the venue, and brochure. Documentary requirements for customs clearance is for samples of no commercial value or of allowed quantity, IIDE, PDIG, DOFTECTEI, PLR reveal, invoice packing list. For models and medicinal samples, the minimi followed required documentation and procedures for samples of no commercial value. If exceeding the de minimis value but below OBFCA value of 50,000 pesos, follow the required documentation and procedures for samples of no commercial value. If exceeding FOBFCA of 50K, yung requirements natin ay nadagdagan. So, print out SAD, lodge through VASTI, DOFTECTEI, BLR reveal, invoice, packing list, STB, and PPTF, and the procedure is the informal entry process. Next is commercial sample. Samples pa din, pero this time it is commercial. Letter A. The samples do not include those who are readily and easily identifiable. The value of any single importation does not exceed 50,000 pesos. Subject to security 100% of a certain duties and taxes and must be re-exported 3 months from the date of acceptance of goods deck and non-extendable. If the FCA value exceeds 50K, subject to conditional importation under 800 or second paragraph, CMTA and the excess may be underbanned for consumption as the importer may elect. For the documentary requirements ng commercial samples, we have letter request, affidavit of end use, prior authority from DOF, DLR bill, commercial invoice, packing list, certification as to venue and date, and brochure. Documentary requirements for the customs clearance, print out SAD, BLR bill, commercial invoice, packing list, DOFTECTEI, security equivalent to 100%, SDV, DPTF, permits and clearance. Procedure, formal entry process. Note if value exceeds 50K, excess may be entered for consumption or conditional importation as the importer may elect. Number 24, animals for specific experimental, zoological, breeding, or national defense purposes. Section 800, letter S of the CMTA. What are the conditions? This privilege excludes race horses. So, hindi po kasama dito is yung mga kabayo nating ipinangangarera. It is restricted to animals of recognizable breed, duly certified by the Bureau of Animal Industry, and has been duly registered in the books of registration. An affidavit, it was executed by the owner or importer. Such animals is the identical animal described in the said certificate and record of pedigree, and it is certified by the National Economic Development Authority as necessary for the economic development. Ano pong halimbawa dito? Halimbawa, yung mga canine dogs. yung mga, ano bang lahi ng mga canine dogs? Yung mga Belgian, Malinois, yon, yung mga ganon. Usually kasi hindi naman siya of Philippine breed. Ini-import natin siya and ginagamit siya, di ba, madalas sa airport, yung mga tinatraining ng PIDEA natin para makaamoy ng drugs. Usually, ini-import natin siya kasi hindi nga siya of Philippine breed. Yung mga ganong klase ng animals, for the purposes ng national defense or national purposes, imported po siya duty and tax free. And yung requirements niya is that documentary requirements for GTI is that letter request addressed to DOF, Secretary, NEDA recommendation for duty exemption certificate that it is necessary for national economic development, BLRE bill, commercial invoice packing list affidavit of end use. Documentary requirements for customs clearance. We have print out of SUD lodgement through VASP with DAN, bill of lading airway bill, commercial invoice, packing list, DOF-TEC-TEI, buy special permit to import live animals, buy certificate of pedigree, affidavit of importer that the animal is of recognized breed under the Bureau of Animal Industry, health and vaccination certificate issued at the country of origin. And the procedure is the formal entry process. Next is, kung kanina ang pinag-uusapan natin, animal, ngayon naman yung mga plants for specific experimental, botanical, propagation, or national defense purposes. What are the conditions? They are imported by order of the government or duly authorized institutions. That a certificate was issued by the NEDA as necessary for national economic development. Documentary requirements for TEC-TEI ay kaparehas lang po nung sa kanina. And then documentary requirements for the customs clearance ay kaparehas lang din except dito sa dalawa. BPI sanitary or phytosanitary import clearance or permits issued by the other government agencies, phytosanitary certificate at the country of origin. And the procedure is the formal entry process. For number 26, we have the economic, technical, vocational, scientific, philosophical, historical, and cultural books and publications, and religious books, hymns, and hymns for religions purposes. Halimbawa po is yung Bible, missals, prayer books, Quran, hadith, and religious books of similar nature and extracts therefrom. Of course, yung mga religious books natin, yung mga Bible, yung Quran, yung missals na ginagamit natin ng iba't ibang religion, exempted po siya for the payment of duties and taxes. Of course, we have to follow the conditions. Book publishers and developers are accorded duty and tax-free importation of books and its equipment appurtenant thereto pursuant to RA 8047. Importations of books covered by the Florence Agreement is also accorded duty and tax-free importation. Books imported by non-stock, non-profit educational institutions are accorded duty and tax-free importation pursuant to Article 14 of Section 4(3) of the 1987 Constitution. Books considered personal effects or for personal use is likewise exempted from duties and taxes and do not need DOF-TEC. If for individual, dapat 6 copies lang yung dala-dala niya per klase or 6 copies of any one work. For institution is limited to 13 copies of one work. For the documentary requirements for TEC-TEI issuance is that kailangan natin ng letter request addressed to DOF Secretary, affidavit, that the effect that the shipment consists of book, authority of representative in lieu consignee, BLRE bill, postal registry, commercial invoice, packing list, certification from the UNESCO, Philippines office that the effect of the books are recovered by the Florence Agreement for those availing exemption under the Florence Agreement, certification from the National Book Development Board as book publisher developer for availing exemption under RA 1847, certification from DepEd that the books are educational in nature, constituted as implemented by DOF DO 13787. In case of donated books, authenticated deed of donation by the donor shipper and deed of acceptance by the donee applicant. Documentary requirements tayo ng mga libro is for commercial books, print out of Sadlage True Vaspi with TAN, BLRA bill, commercial invoice, packing list, DOF, TECTEI, SDV, and DPTF. The procedure is the formal entry process. If donated naman yung book through informal entry process, we have IIDE, PDIG, or NAIA Gate Pass, BLRA bill, invoice, packing list, DOF, TECTEI, copy of authenticated deed of donation and notarized deed of acceptance. Procedure for books donated is under the informal entry process. If personal books not exceeding the allowable quantity, special procedures on postal mail, express shipment, or traveler or passengers' baggage. Next, we have is the Philippines goods previously exported from the Philippines and returned without having been advanced and value of improved in any condition by any process or manufacturing or other means, instruments and implements, tools of trades, machinery and equipment used abroad by Filipino citizens. Foreign goods previously imported when returned after having been exported and loaned used temporarily abroad solely for exhibition, testing and experimentation for scientific or educational purposes. Foreign containers previously imported which have been used in packing exported Philippine goods and returned empty if imported by or for the account of the person or institution who exported them from the Philippines. What are the conditions? Proof that the shipment is indeed Philippine goods previously exported as evidenced by the export documents such as export declaration, export invoice, packing list, export BLRA bill, including certificate of identification issued by the customs officers upon exportation. It does also include for the condition is that it was returned without having been advanced in value or improved in condition and no drawback or bounty has been granted. Documentary requirements for TECTEI issuance is that letter request addressed to Secretary of Finance, affidavit of end use, export declaration, certificate of identification, export BL, one-stop shop center certification, import BL, bill, invoice packing list, duly authenticated certification letter from shipper, previous original import document, and documentary requirements for the customs clearance. We have print out SAD, large blue VASPI with done, DOF, TECTEI, BLRA bill, invoice packing list, STV, and DPTF, and the procedure is the formal entry process. Number 28 we have is the goods imported by and for the use of scheduled airlines operating under congressional franchise. So what are the goods included? Aircraft, equipment and machinery of the aircraft, aircraft spare parts, commissary and catering supplies, aviation gas, fuel and oil, whether crude or refined. What are the conditions? There must be a law enacted by the legislature as to the franchise granted to an airline company. The privilege does not include the goods directly or indirectly used for domestic operations. It is not available locally and in reasonable quantity. It is not necessary of incidental to the proper operations of such airlines. Documentary requirements for TECTEI issuance, letter request addressed to DOF Secretary, affidavit of end use or ownership, BLRA bill, invoice packing list, general declaration, and CAAP certification. Documentary requirements for customs clearance, print out SAD, BLRA bill, commercial invoice, packing list, FDV, DPTF, DOFTECTI General Declaration and CAAP Certification, which will go under through the formal entry process. Number 29 is we have the goods imported for use by the new mines or old mines which resume operation. So, yung mga goods na ginagamit natin sa pagmimina, either bago or lumang mines na sila na nag-resume ng operation. What are the goods included? Machineries, equipment, and its parts, tools for production, plans to convert mineral ores into sellable form, supplies, materials, and accessories, transportation of facilities, communication facilities, explosives, and chemicals. What are the conditions? It is certified by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. It's recommended by the Mines and Geoscience Bureau for a period ending 5 years from the first date of actual commercial production of sellable mineral products. It is not available locally, sellable quantity, quality, and price. It is necessary or incidental for the operation of the mines. Documentary requirements for the issuance of PECTEI. We have letter request addressed to DOF Secretary, affidavit of use or ownership, DLRA bill, commercial invoice, packing list, authorization letter, DOI certificate of authority, DOI certificate of registration with annexes and terms and conditions, bank transactions, purchase order, and telegraphic transfer. For the documentary requirements, kaparehas lang po ng documentary requirements kanina. Print outside Lodge Luvas, PBL, commercial invoice, packing list, SDB, DPTF, DOFTECTI, general declaration, CAAP certification, which will go through under the formal entry process. For number 30, we have the aircraft parts imported by agri-industrial companies to be used on their agricultural and industrial operations and activities. What are the conditions? It must be certified by the Department of Department of Agriculture and Department of Trade and Industry to be used exclusively in their agricultural and industrial operation activities. Now you have here your TECTEI requirements. Yan, check nyo na lang. Nadagdagan lang siya ng certificate issued by DA or DTI as appropriate. So, the Department of Agriculture, kapag ang i-import natin ay agricultural. Kapag industrial naman, we have to secure permits from the Department of Trade and Industry. So, hindi pwedeng sabay. Isa lang. Kung agricultural, we have to go with the Department of Agriculture. If it's industrial, we have to go through with the Department of Trade and Industry. Documentary requirements for customs clearance, kaparehas lang din nung sa kanina. And yung procedure natin is the formal entry process. Next we have is the spare parts of vessel or aircraft foreign registry when brought into the Philippines exclusively as replacement or for emergency repair thereof. So, magiging subject po ng hindi pagbabayad ng DRIS, yung mga spare parts ng vessel or aircraft of foreign registry na dinala dito sa Pilipinas exclusively as replacement or for emergency repair thereof. Ano yung conditions natin? The vessel or aircraft is of foreign registry. The imported spare parts will be used exclusively for repair of such vessel or aircraft. The spare parts imported shall be used to secure the safety and seaworthiness or airworthiness of the vessel or aircraft to enable it to continue its voyage or flight. For the vessel, parehas lang din ng iba. Pinaibahan lang is that we have copy of certificate of foreign registry, endorsement of recommendation or certification from Marino or CAAP if applicable. And then for the document ng customs clearance is certificate is applicable. And then certificate natin dito is formal entry process. Certified goods exported from the Philippines for repair, processing, or reconditioning without having been substantially advanced in value and subsequently re-exported in its original form or but Filipinas for repair, processing, or reconditioning without having been substantially advanced in value and subsequently reimported in its original form or state. What are the conditions? It must be exported for repair, processing, or reconditioning as evidenced by export documents and properly identified through the issuance of certificate of identification. It must be reimported in its original form and state without having been advanced in value, provided in case of reimported goods advanced in value, whether or not in original state shall be subject to applicable duty rate of the tariff heading of the reimported goods. What are the documentary requirements? Almost the same lang nung sa iba. Ang kaibahan lang is nagkaroon tayo ng import invoice, nagkaroon export declaration, certificate of identification, and export documents. We also have certification coming from Marina Act, which includes vessel or aircraft as appropriate, and other import documents. For the document requirements naman ng customs clearance, kaparehas lang din. Ang nadagdag lang is meron tayo Marina or SAAB certificate if applicable. And yung process natin for this will be formal entry process. Number 33 we have is the trailer chassis when imported by shipping companies for their exclusive use in handling containerized cargo. So yung mga trailer chassis natin, exempt lang sila sa payment ng duties and taxes kapag in-import sila ng shipping companies for their exclusive use in handling containerized cargoes. What are the conditions? It is imported by shipping company for their exclusive use in handling containerized cargoes, subject to security equivalent to 100% of a certain duties, taxes, and other charges, due to cover period of 1 year from the date of acceptance of goods declaration, which may be extended by the Commissioner of Meritorious Reasons from year to year. So definitely 1 year maximum natin dito, pero extendable siya every year. So hindi siya extendable ng another 3 months, ng another 6 months, but instead extendable ng another 1 year. The thing should be properly identified and Transportation Office. The claim shall be subject to customs supervision first to be fixed by the district collector and subject to the approval of the Commissioner of Customs. They shall be deposited in the customs territory when not in use, and upon expiration of the security, duties and taxes should be paid unless otherwise re-exported. Documentary requirements for PECPEA issuance is that kaparehas lang nung sa iba, letter request, affidavit of use, BLA bill, commercial invoice, and packing list. Documentary requirements for customs clearance, parehas lang yung iba, ang kaibahan niya is meron tayo sa equivalency 100% of the certain duties and taxes. Now for the procedure, we have it under the formal entry process. Number 24, we have the personal and household effects, including one vehicle imported by following persons in relation to RA 7157, Section 800 of the CFPA. What who are those personnel? We have DSP personnel or Department of Foreign Affairs, or the attaché, civil member of the staff assigned in the Philippine Diplomatic Mission abroad, similar officer or employee in other departments assigned to any Philippine consular office abroad, military personnel according to simulated diplomatic rank on duty abroad, who is returning from legal assignments abroad for reassignment of commercial advantage, certified service after approval of the CMTA. So yung mga taong binanggit dito, sila daw po yung mga taong exempted sa pagbabayad ng buwis kapag mag-uuwi sila ng personal and household effects including one vehicle. So dito pwede na po yung vehicle. Doon sa mga previous kasi natin laging exempted si vehicle. Dito naman ay kasama na yung vehicle natin. Pero pagdating natin, meron conversion sa vehicle. One motor vehicle must be purchased according to the receipt of mission or cancellation of order, hospital or registered in the name of the employee. So, dapat na iuuwi ng employee, kailangan nabili niya na yon before pa siya magkaroon ng knowledge na pababalikin na siya ng Pilipinas. So, hindi pwede bumili lang siya ng motor vehicle dahil nalaman niyang uuwi na siya ng Pilipinas. But instead, kailangan po kanya na yung motor vehicle or nabili niya na yung motor vehicle even before pa niya ma-receive yung mission niya na umuwi na siya dito ng Pilipinas. The exemption applies only to the value of motor vehicle and to the aggregate amount of personal and household effects. The value of the vehicle does not exceed 20% of the salary. Licenses during the leader's assignment period but not exceed 4 years. Exemption shall not be obtained of more than 1 to 4 years. So, dapat isang beses lang siya sa loob ng 4 na taon. The officer or employee can serve na self-serve the not less than 2. So, dapat ang requirement natin is siya nagtrabaho or nag-serve abroad after the period of 2. So, dapat dito ang tax exemption from the Department of Finance, provided of ownership, DLOC, commercial affairs, in this allowance of motor vehicle over, certification of salary allowances, authorization from the consignee, authorization for an owner supplement, and approval for vehicle certification. The consideration that improvement of personal and household effects procedures for personal and household effects, internal and process. The motor vehicles apply as well to importers and they should also to 30,000 the commutation and procedure under formal process. Then, other duty and tax-free goods and entities. Goods entitled to duty and tax-free importations under international agreements or special laws. All other entities not included in the exemption under Section 800 of the CMTA as a rule subject to the duties and taxes unless otherwise exempted by an international agreement. With the enactment of Crane Law, various special laws were repealed insofar as VAT exemption is concerned per Section 86 of Crane Law. Hence, exemption is limited to customs duty only. VAT exempt importations natin. So, yung mga nabanggit natin kanina under the Section 800, they are all customs duty exemption only. Customs duty lang. Hindi po sila exempted sa payment ng value-added tax. So, VAT exempt importations natin, sale or importation of agricultural and marine food products in their original state, sale or importation of fertilizer, seeds, seedlings, and fingerlings, na importations and personal household effects belonging to residents of the Philippines, returning from abroad, non-resident citizens coming to settle in the Philippines, provided that they are previously exempted from customs duties under TCCP. Yon, importation of professional instruments, implements, wearing apparels, household effects, transactions which are exempt under international agreements, to which Philippines is a signatory or under special laws under those granted under PD 529. Importation of direct farm inputs, machineries and equipments, sale, importation, printing or publication of books or any newspaper, sale, importation, or release of passenger cargo, vessel or aircraft, including engine equipment, importation of fuel, goods, and supplies by persons engaged in international shipping or air transport operations. Next is, yun. Yun lang yung duty and tax fee importation natin under Section 800. So, lahat ng nabanggit under Section 800, you have to be familiar with the condition. And pagdating naman sa mga documentary requirements, kung mapapansin nyo, pare-parehas lang naman siya. Meron lang nadadagdag, meron lang nababawas. So, you have to be familiar with the conditions in order for you to be familiar, of course, with Section 800. So, you have to understand yung conditions and to be familiar doon sa mga goods na exempted natin. Next topic is the Philippine Tariff Commission. Since ang topic po ng TM101 ay customs and tariff principles, of course, we have to discuss the Tariff Commission. Since we have already discussed with the Bureau of Customs, yung basic ni Bureau of Customs, yung basic ng customs law, kailangan din natin isama sa Philippine Tariff Commission. It is the principal authority on tariffs and trade remedy measure. They are an attached agency of the National Economic Development Authority, administered by a collegial body composed of a chairman and two member commissioners. So, yung organizational chart natin for the Tariff Commission, it goes like this. Wait lang. Yan. Organic Yan. Organizational structure. Yan. Organizational structure ng Tariff Commission. Mag-start tayo sa Office of the Chairperson and the Commissioner. Under niya, meron tayong dalawa. Meron tayong RIITAS and FMAS. RIITAS for Research Investigation and International Trade Analysis Service. Wait lang. Yun, kay RIITAS. And then, under RIITAS, meron tayong apat. Under RIITAS, Research Investigation and International Trade Analysis, meron tayong Commodity Studies Division, Economics, Trade and Industry Studies Division, Financial Studies Division, and International Trade Studies Division. So, diyan siya. Next naman na part ng ating Tariff Commission is the Finance Management and Administrative Service or yung FMAS. We have Administrative Division, Financial Management Division, Planning Management and Information Systems Division or PMISP. What are the functions of the Tariff Commission? Tariff Commission functions under Section 1603 of the CMTA, adjudicate cases on the application of the trade remedies against imports pursuant to Section 711, 712, 713 of this Act, study the impact of tariff policies and programs on national competitiveness and consumer welfare in line with the economic objectives of the government, administer the Philippine tariff schedules and tariff nomenclatures, issue advance ruling tariff classification on imported goods and render rulings on dispute over tariff classification of the goods pursuant to Section 1100 of this Act, except in the cases involving goods on which the Commission has provided advance ruling on the tariff classification, provide the President and the Congress with independent analysis, information, and technical support on matters related to tariff and non-tariff measures affecting the Philippine industries and export for policy guidance, analyze the nature and composition and the classification of the goods according to tariff commodity classification and heading number for customs and other related purposes, which information shall be furnished the NEDA, DTI, DA, DOF, PNR, and Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Review the trade agreements for negotiation and trade agreements entered into by the Philippines and make recommendations if necessary on the consistency of the terms of agreements with the national policy objectives. Conduct public consultations and public hearings pursuant to its functions and deputize or delegate other appropriate agency in its function rendering rulings on dispute over tariff classification of goods until the plantilla positions necessary for undertaking such functions have been approved and filed up, provided that such delegation of function shall not extend beyond 3 years from the effectivity of this act. Yung dito sa Tariff Commission mandates, papahapyawan na lang natin siya. In layman's term na lang siya kasi itong mga to ay may kanya-kanyang subject on higher years. For example, itong trade remedy measures natin, 711, 712, 713, meron siyang sariling subject which is M106. So medyo mahabang discussion siya kaya papahapyawan na lang natin siya. Now, for the Tariff Commission mandates, discovered natin 711, 712, 713 of the CMTA, 1100 of the CMTA, 1608, 1609, 1611, and 1612 of the CMTA. Na 1604, sakop din po, 1600 onward, sakop po yan ni Tariff Commission. 1604, reports of the Commission. Commission shall place at the disposal of the President, any member of the Congress of the Philippines, all information and its command. It shall conduct investigation and submit reports as may be required by the President and the Congress of the Philippines. It shall likewise report to the President and Congress on the first Monday of December of each year, and hereafter a statement of methods adopted and summary of all reports made during the year. Access to documents. The Commission or its duly authorized representative shall have access to any document, paper, or record pertinent to subject matter under investigation in the possession of any person, firm, co-partnership, corporation, or association engaged in the production, importation, or distribution of goods under investigation, and shall have power to summon witnesses, take testimony, administer oaths, and issue subpoena duces tecum, requiring the production of books, papers, or documents relating to the matter under investigation. The Commission may also request the views, recommendation, and assistance of any government office, agency, or instrumentality who shall be expected to cooperate fully with the Commission. Sinasabi lang dito na si Commission daw po ay meron tayong access and yung duly authorized representative niya sa lahat ng document, paper, or record under investigation. Kahit na firm pa yan, co-partnership, corporation, meron tayong power or merong power si Commission, si Tariff Commission para mag-request ng or para magkaroon ng access sa mga documents na yon. Sworn and verified statements. 1606, sworn and verified statement. The Commission may order the taking of sworn statements at any stage of any proceeding or investigation before. The sworn statement must have been made before a person duly authorized to administer oaths. The Commission is authorized to require any importer, grower, producer, manufacturer, or seller to file with the Commission a statement under oath giving the selling prices in its Philippines of goods imported, grown, produced, fabricated, or manufactured by such person. Dito sinasabi lang daw po na si Tariff Commission pwede tayong mag-administer ng oath. Together with that, pwede nating i-require si manufacturer, producer, grower, importer, seller para mag-file kay Tariff Commission ng statement under oath giving the selling price of the goods. Giving the selling price of the goods imported into the Philippines. Last naman sa topic natin will be Section 1607, the implementing rules and regulations. The Commission shall promulgate and adopt such rules and regulations as may be necessary to carry out the provisions of this Act. So yung topic natin today ay medyo mahaba siya. So for questions, once posted na po, pwede po kayong magtanong dito sa ating comment section and then i-address ko po siya. Yun lang po and thank you so much. Kung may tanong, mag-comment or mag-chat lang sa akin for clarifications or ipadaan sa representative. Thank you so much po.